Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. Hopefully everyone had a great Wednesday. Let's get all the alerts out here, make sure that everyone knows that we're live. Details. Here we go. Beautiful. Oh, it's on the right side now. Good morning, Azam. How you doing? Good morning, everyone. Saeed. Random Barbarian. What's going on? Good morning. All right, let's get the screen all shared here. Beautiful. Morning, Pipsy. How you doing? Trader Pivot, what's going on? Good morning. Hope everyone's well. We'll have some back testing here for last night because even though I didn't take the NQ, MNQ IB, the Globex IB, we did have the gold one that hit. I'm going to take a little look at that here as well. MGC, we're going to go to daily for Thursday on the IB by rejection. Probably should have looked at these stats earlier last night, but I figured it was fine. All right. Let's get this going on a robot. The code. Thank you. All right, so the trade I had last night, I'm up 139 right now. This was a pretty sloppy trade on my part because I didn't get the entry quite at 50%, but I ended up chasing it. I should have made another probably 300 on this trade. So this is the IB from last night on gold, MGC. Lucid does allow you to trade gold. Tradify allows you to trade gold. I think the only restrictions are My Funded Futures and Top Step. Top Step did just lift most of them. What's going on, guys? Good morning. AB, how you doing? Fry Kai. Junabad. Ezekiel, what's going on? The trade I had last night. Perfect high into the low on the IB. Measure out 50%, enter at 50%. As you can see, I did not. And then I ended up chasing it down. I got out before 8 o'clock because I know gold is extremely volatile for Asia Open. And then once that hit, I just kind of like 7:55 maybe, I think I got out. And then it ended up dipping down a little bit more. And then I was all done there. Definitely rebounded quite a bit. Tokyo Session IB worked like a charm. I know it's not a traditional IB, but it has great stats. I couldn't resist. I get you. Something I have to definitely look into then. Morning, guys. How we doing? Good morning. Good morning. Mahadi, how you doing? Patrick, Rebo, Tyree. Congratulations on winning the accounts yesterday, by the way. So that was my trade on gold from last night. And then we never got an entry on MES or MNQ. As you can see, the IB was definitely bearish. We had a pretty nasty continuation down, and we had barely even a 25% retracement. So this one retraced up to MES was like 24%, and MNQ was like, I don't know, same thing. And I ended up getting wicked out. I went for the IB by retracement. I ended up getting wicked out, and then it dropped 100 points. That was pretty sad. But, you know, I'd said the same thing yesterday. I'd rather be complaining about how much I could have made versus how much I lost. So it's not a bad thing. So you don't wait for price to break out. You just enter at the 50% of the range. You want to enter before the IB has broken out. Good morning, Lonnie. How you doing? This one I said was a sloppy trade last night. I got in because I saw it was rejecting at 50%, and I was like, okay, I'll give this one a try. Gold is also extremely risky for the IB, in my eyes anyway. I like risking about $200, so I did enter late on this, and then my risk was 20 points, $200, or 18 because it was 1-to-1. This entire range from 50% on gold last night was 32 points. So that's 320 for 1 micro, and you have pretty much no ability to add in. But as you can notice, if you guys did happen to notice, the balance on these accounts is back up to 26.8. So we're going to review, before we get into the data for today on edgeful, we're going to review what I did yesterday. If you guys remember, I also had that IB short running. I took a loss, a 14-point loss, and then ended up getting a 26-point win. So ended up being up 200 there. And the move on this from yesterday, it has to make new lows on the IB. It cannot make equal lows. There has to be a way to fix the audio cutting off randomly. I can see my chat bubble in Discord. It's active every time I'm talking. I don't know what it could be, Tyree. Sorry about that. It's fine for you guys too. Is it cutting out for you too, Rebo? Or is it fine for you? I'm not sure what it could be. Anyway, jumping back to yesterday, SPY made equal lows, so that did not break out. Oh yeah, I definitely use the app, Tyree, not the web browser. The web browser is not as updated. Not sure what word I wanted to go for there. Anyway, so we had that IB short yesterday on MES. If you guys remember, I was in 2 MES short at 677.65. I think I can go over to. I wish it saved the trades from yesterday, but it does not. As you can see, we made equal lows. So the low of this candle was 6769. It did not end up breaking the IB low. And luckily, Andre was in the stream with us, or else I probably would have avoided that. I took a loss because I entered at 25% of the IB. I didn't think we were going to get the retracement all the way up to 50%. We ended up doing that. I got stopped out on that trade by 1 point, by the way, which is pretty unfortunate. So I ended up taking about $140 loss for essentially no reason. Kind of stunk. And then took a $360 win, I believe, on the downside. And then after that, I went over to MNQ. And as you can see for the IB yesterday, we obviously weren't able to get into the trade for the IB. If I can find it here. It never had a retracement for us. So it just ended up breaking the IB low. Came back up with the SPY and then came back down. I ended up taking shorts on the IB by retracement. And then my target on those shorts was 24,894. That was previous day's low. So after I took that, it was about a $200 win. I was up 188, and that was after being down 140. So $380 wins, or $360 win, whatever the math on that is, 320. And then I went into MNQ shorts. I had 4 MNQ. I know that seems like a lot. I only had a 20-point stop on that. So if I lost in that trade, I was going to end my day at $20. Obviously, I didn't lose. I ended up making another 400 on the way down. So my overall day yesterday was like 570. I can go to my Lucid dashboard here, and that will clarify it up. The win rate yesterday ended up being like 80%. So I only took that one loss on. Go to the details here. I only ended up. There we go, 570 and 50. So I only ended up taking that one loss on SPY, and then the 4 other trades with the move down to previous day's low. Now we're going over to Qs to cover this because it's a little bit easier. There's where we hit our previous day's low. MNQ did hit it at 11:45. That's why I was done at 11:45. The slippage on MNQ must have hit it, and I actually got a little lucky with it. And then the actual previous day's low on Qs hit at 130. But this stat, when you see price open within previous day's range, is the one that I was heavily relying on yesterday. It's our inside bar stat. Same thing for MNQ, MES, gold, YM. Anytime that this price opens within previous day's range, these are our odds. For YM, just about a 90% chance. For Qs, just about 84. For SPY, I think it's 87 right there. And then any other stock you want to do, Tesla, 84%. NVIDIA, 83% just about. When you see price open within previous day's range, it has a 4 and 5 chance of breaking out of previous day's range. We are not opened within previous day's range right now. Yesterday's low, we can go and draw this out now. So previous day's high, previous day's low was made at 130. Drag that out to the right. Now, fear not, we do have a stat for this. There's no giveaway today. I got to delete that. We do have a stat for this. So then we go and measure in our London 50, and we can see that price is opening underneath previous day's range, or outside of previous day's range. Previous day's range also is New York session. It's New York session range. So we're not worried about the 615 all the way down to 8 o'clock low. We don't care about that. We only care about New York's low. And then we go over to edgeful, and that stat is now the outside day's stat because we're opening outside of previous day's range. And what this gives us is a 75% chance that price reverses back up. Now, keep in mind, we also have the opening week range that we have yet to break. So once we see price directionally moving today or tomorrow, it's Thursday, so we only have 2 days left to break this. Once we see price continuing either down or up, we're going to target 613 or we're going to target 591. For today, because we're opening outside of previous day's range, I'm going to be looking for a move up to previous day's low. That should give us a bullish IB unless we reverse all the way back down. However, with us also having a 0.58% gap, we go over to gap fill by size. And that's our odds of filling the gap. It's pretty much 50-50, so this one doesn't have very much significance behind it. We're more so relying on the outside day stat. What's going on, Ash? Good morning. Hope your week is going well. Would you trade the IB if the initial balance high and low are made at the same time? No. No, you need to be able to clearly see which one had the high or low form first. They can't form at the same time. I'm assuming you're meaning on the first 15-minute candle if the high and lows formed first. If the first 15-minute candle puts in the entire range for the day, it's probably going to be a pretty small range, so you're not going to be able to trade it directionally anyway. Based on your experience, you traded ICT before and been doing this for years, where you settle on IB. I don't trade IB. Sorry, I trade IB. I don't trade ICT. I have no interest in looking into ICT concepts. What's going on, Phoenix? How you doing? Good morning. How many strategies do you have? I think I fixed the audio issue, but I just realized I don't see some of the messages that you respond to as well. So weird. Some of them, people DM me some of them, Tyree, and then the other ones are just in another chat because I'm doing multiple stream. But for Turret Buddy, he almost never comments in chat. He DMs me. Funny guy sometimes DMs me. Wiz sends me some DMs. Freedom Trader usually unmutes in chat. So not all of them are going to be in the lounge chat. There are some that are in main chat and then futures chat as well. What's Hims at now? I haven't even checked. All the way back up to 27. Why did I have to sell that? I don't even remember what I sold it at. Let's catch back up on the chat here. So Lionel is, how many strategies do you have IB only? I'm going to simplify it down, not even the IB. Also, we just made a new low pre-market. We still have the same odds regardless of where we open. We still have the same odds of having the retracement back up to previous day's low. So we don't really care about the gap fill, especially because it's in the fourth bracket now. Actually, a pretty decent chance we fill it up. We've only had 3 outcomes of this gap size. But anyway, my trading strategy, since I started using edgeful, yes, it is the IB. The IB is the main one. And the IB, the reason that I settled on the IB is because it's the highest win rate of all the edgeful stats. Highest outcome, sorry. Your initial balance by breakout has a 96% chance of happening every single day. 95%, sorry, because we've had a couple no break days in the past 6 months. It has the highest outcome of all the stats on edgeful. That's what made me settle with the IB. And then the trades that I take, they pretty much all get determined. Wow, couldn't speak. They all get determined by what bias the IB gives us. So we know if the IB high forms first, pretty much that first 15-minute candle gives you a good bias for the day. If the IB high forms first, we're targeting the low, giving a bearish bias. If the IB low forms first, we're targeting the high, giving a bullish bias. That being said, that IB gives us our directional bias going to previous day's low or previous day's high when price opens within previous day's range. That's that inside bar stat that I also use. So if we open within previous day's range and the IB is bearish, I'm going to be targeting first the IB low for a break, which we had yesterday on SPY. And then the second level, and this one I missed the extension to this. That's why I went over to Qs and ended up taking the extension to that previous day's low, which if I mark that out here, you can see we ended up taking it at 11:45, but with slippage on M and Q, QQQ did not take it. It didn't take it until 1:30. Bearish IB, and then continued price action with the IB, I look for previous day's low. So if we had today's market open, for example, let's say we opened within previous day's range, and this is just a hypothetical. Let's say previous day's range was this right here. Work with me here. Let's say this was previous day's range, 608 down to 600. Price opens within previous day's range. Let's say we have the IB low form at 602 and then the IB high form at 604.80. So we're targeting the high for a break. Price breaks the high. This one would be a little bit of a stretch, but then I would be targeting up to 608 because and the reason that I maintain that directional bias with the IB is because our stats on the IB for a double break only happens 1 out of 5 times. Only happens 19% of the time. With the inside bar stat, the way that I view that, and we're going to go over SPY for yesterday, IB low broke first. So we have an 18% chance of going up to 680, which would be a double break on the IB. Or we have a 87% chance that price breaks previous day's low and previous day's high. Or previous day's high, sorry. 18% chance price reverses back up with an 87% chance that we break out of previous day's range. Congratulations on the recent payout. Amazing work. Let's keep it running up. Thank you, Ash. I'll give you a call later today, Ash, and we can set up that group stream for tomorrow. Another collab tomorrow. You're surprised Orb doesn't have a higher win rate since price is likely to break out to one side most of the time. The Orb has, for the breakout itself, it probably does have a higher win rate. I'll go look at it right now, actually. The downside to it is that there's a lot of fake outs. So for a double break on the Orb, you can see these are the different stats. For the double break on the Orb, it's a 47% chance. You have, over the past year, you have a 100% chance of breaking out of that first 15-minute range. The Orb is essentially the same as the IB, though. The IB is just the first hour. The Orb is the first 15 minutes. The Orb, you can see how many fake outs it has. There's no clear direction on which way it breaks. It just, you know it's going to break. For the initial balance, happens 96% of the time, but these are your directional bias breaks, 77%, and you only have a 19% chance of having a double break. So the Orb does, I guess I misspoke a little bit. The Orb does have a higher success rate of happening, but these are a lot. You've had 5 double breaks over the past 5 days.
Yo, what's up, Zinc? Okay, there.
Hey, James. How you doing?
Found it.
Yeah, sorry about that. They, I don't know. Someone created a test live.
Yeah, I saw that. I was looking at that. That's why I couldn't find it at first. But
I went through all the process, and then I went to go live, and it only let me record.
I'll show you how to change that. I'll show you how to change it.
I thought it had something to do with. I cleared my cache this morning too to see if that
was
to upload it.
Did you make sure that the local recordings were toggled on when before you started?
Yeah, they're on. They when I go into the upload page,
yep,
it finds them, and then it just says,
it finds them, just doesn't upload them.
It says error right after.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, but I'll show you how that other reusable studio. I'll show you how you change that, get it right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Can I explain what an inside bar is? Inside bar. Trey's looking forward to having you back next week. Yeah, let's set it up later, Ash. Inside bar is when price opens within previous day's range. We don't have that today. Today we actually have the outside bar stat, outside days. So we have a 75% chance of reversing back up. 75% chance for a reversal. For inside days, it's when price opens within previous day's high and previous day's low. Outside days, price opens outside of previous day's high or previous day's low. The second that we got off stream yesterday, James, that IB took the full TP.
Yeah, I saw that. I've just added my YouTube on as well there, Zinc, if that's all cool.
Nice. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. And I ended up playing the continuation down to previous day's low, but on Qs.
Nice. Yeah, but again, it bounced from that range as well, bro. Very choppy price action.
Yeah, it was. We had so many tweets from Trump yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
During that time. Yeah. That's why I was just whiplashy. And then we have
taken that range, though, overnight. That bottom that we had, we actually have taken it overnight.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
I ended up taking you were probably sound asleep for this, but for Globex last night, I ended up taking gold for shorts.
Okay, nice.
Same model worked, 50% retracement, then right down. But last night we dropped 140 points for Globex Open because the update was that they put sea mines in the. Shoot, what's the gap they ship all that stuff out of?
Yeah, that canal, yeah.
They ended up putting mines in that, so that's why we dropped so much last night.
Sure.
And came right back up because China said that they'd side with the U.S. And then I don't know what we're dropping for right now. But we are still within that freaking range, man. I either want price to break out of 590 or 637, which probably going to take another 2 months at this point. Strait of Hormuz, yes. Hormuz.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
What time determines if we are inside or outside previous day's range? Is New York session, 9:30 to 4. Did you take any other trades yesterday, James?
No, just those two from stream, and then I did later on in the session on another account, not that batch of accounts. I took a small little scalp short on NQ. So
nice.
Yeah.
Did you take another max win on your top one account?
It was a small position. Yeah, like $200, $270 on that. Yeah, nothing too crazy.
There you go. I got stopped out. I had an M&Q short last night. I tried jumping in on that trend down.
Sure.
I got stopped out by 1 point.
Oh man!
I trailed my stop at break even. I got stopped at 818. Then it dropped another 100 points from there. Bastard.
Yeah, we'll see what we get in the open. But Wime's coming down as well. All the Mag 7 stocks are red.
I have into open a slightly bullish bias, just the previous day's low with that outside day stat. Then obviously if we just keep free falling, then more than enough time to change that bias.
Oh yeah.
SPY is also well below previous day's low. 673.35. DIA. This one, previous day's low on the Dow or YM is 472. About a $2 pop on that.
Open here in just over 3 minutes.
Someone commented this earlier, and I thought you'd get a kick out of it. They were disappointed that the shirt guy wasn't here today. Not Andre, the shirt guy.
The shirt guy, yeah. Just the founder of the company, but yeah.
No, that's still it's too direct. It's just the shirt guy.
The shirt guy, yeah.
Yeah, midnight open will probably we almost went and hit that. Midnight open was 7:30, 24/7:30. You need to gather range, their data on these ranges when to enter before the full 1 hour range is reset. Yeah, it's pretty hard to go back and look at Tyree. Like last night's Globex, it just didn't pull back enough for us to get in. The best entry you could have gotten was at 645, but on the same note, it could have done what SPY did yesterday, where SPY ended up retracing all the way back up to 678 and then right back down. It's all hindsight. You know if we have any data today?
I think we had what was it again? Unemployment claims pre-market 8:30 a.m.
Yep. Trade deficit.
Yeah, nothing else besides that on the list.
So they ended up releasing 480 million barrels of oil yesterday, which I don't really follow the oil reserve or that stuff, but I'm assuming anytime they say it's the highest release in history, it's probably not a good thing. Have you seen gas prices around you increase?
They have, yeah. They have not as much as I thought though, but they have gone up slightly, yeah.
Ours is up almost $1 from where it was last week.
Yeah,
and I live in a pretty rural state too. I can only imagine what like California's seeing for price increases. What's going on, Civ? How you doing? What platform do you use for coffee trading? I just use the built-in one on Tradevate. I have no desire to use like Replicanto or Tradecopia or TradeSyncer with all the horror stories of people having issues with the platform, and then they end up losing all their accounts. And the reason I stay with Tradevate is because if something goes wrong on this group trade,
yeah,
they're liable for it, and they will the prop firm will fix the account. If it happens on a third party one, they take no liability.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
Like Leo, he last week or 2 weeks ago, he had Top Step go down while he was replicating his trades on Replicanto, and it ended up blowing all the other accounts that were following it. He had one account that exited the trade, and it was because Top Step X went down.
Man, that's trading's hard enough, and then you got stuff like that happens. Pretty frustrating, dude.
Yeah, and TradeSeed too. That one, it's a brand new platform for Lucid. So I think we're gonna. I don't know what the level is on YM. I think we're gonna spike up to previous day's low, and then we'll see where.
Jeez, YM is
price wants to
falling off, bro. I must say.
SPY's doing the same. The Q just had a spike up. Oh, again, man. Did you look at NQ at all?
Yeah,
for validation.
For in terms of like if I'm trading something else, or what? What do you mean by that?
Just as a like asset that you look at for YM.
Yeah, I will look
like
at the ES more. Yeah, I will look at the other two assets. If I'm going to take a trade on YM, I'll see what NQ or ES are doing as well. Yeah.
Definitely. So, do you have any opinion or thought on why they've been diverged for 2 weeks now?
Markets rotating into industrials and health sector, and that, YM's got more of that in it. It's probably not the best explanation. Yeah. Also, YM is price weighted, not like the NQ and ES are percentage based, right? Like, yeah.
Gotcha.
So it will be, yeah. But YM definitely been the weaker of the two. Other compared to the other two indexes, we're trading well below new weekly VWAP. I was looking, ES and NQ were trading like at it, whereas YM was like well below it, bro. So that was interesting. I can actually show that on stream. I know you guys you don't really look at VWAP, but it's just an interesting take that I saw. So what I mean by that is if you look at the weekly VWAP, so what this is, it's the start of week VWAP. So you put it to, and I include the extended market hours, right? But if you look at this from the start of week VWAP, look how we actually are respected it here pre-market almost to the point of here, that blue dotted line. And then if you look at NQ, we were trading slightly above it, but now we've gotten back below it. And then YM, we're trading well below it, bro. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like
way below it, yeah.
Yeah, way below it. So
I used to use that with Bollinger Bands.
Okay.
So I used to use VWAP. I just don't have it on my chart because it adds a little too much clutter for my liking.
Yeah, no, sure. You got to just keep it simple and go with what's working, right?
But if I remember correctly, that should have, with how far we are from VWAP, we either have consolidation or price kind of whiplashes back up.
Yeah, correct. How I also use VWAP Zinc is like I wouldn't want to short down here. It's too far. If that makes sense. Like you want to be finding, like, I could have maybe taken a short into the open, which I don't really like, but like a short as we break it, maybe stop at the high. This is why I'm obviously, but you don't want to be shorting or buying when prices far or extended outside of off of VWAP. Yeah.
Lonnie just said YM has 100% reversal on Thursdays.
Interesting.
It's the same outside day stat that I'm looking for, but SPY is at 80% and Q's at 75% chance that we have outside day reversal.
Sure. Interesting here, though. All the stocks are on the Mag 7 are all red. No one is green at the moment.
Tesla will come back. Tesla actually was what was holding Q's up yesterday.
Yeah.
Honestly, holding SPY up too. And then as soon as that curled over, that was it for the day.
Why I'm now taking out those pre-market lows. Yeah, I think you can, let's go like that. There you go, get your screen up there. But yeah, that's just what I was seeing in terms of like the VWAP with the all three indexes. So I do use them for correlation 100%.
Gotcha. So we do have the opening reversal on Tesla too. If this closes red, it should spike back up. We're definitely heading towards previous day's low on SPY and Qs now. Previous day's low, we'll go and mark that out. 673.34, so we're about $2 away. You trade the first 15-minute candle at all?
Very rarely. I can't say I do it too often. But if I find like an opportunity to find like a momentum play, I will. But I'll be very aggressive in profit taking. Like I find it very rarely in the first 50 minutes you're going to take a trade and it's going to be the directional play for the day.
Ferrolo just said, damn, we're running out in Oz. Definitely taking the Roo to work next week. I have no idea what a Roo is. Scooter, maybe? He's from Australia. I don't know if you have any.
No, I do. Terms. I have family in Australia, but they do have some weird lingo. That's for sure.
Oh,
dude.
kangaroo. You can't take a kangaroo.
Yeah. There we go.
$4.50 for a gallon in Ohio for premium. $5 for diesel. Oh, it would suck to have a diesel truck right now.
Yeah, what's NQ? See, like NQ still holding up here. We sitting at daily VWAP at the moment. I actually saw. So if you look also like on the 15-minute time frame, Zinc. If you look at that from Monday, bro, what was an interesting thing for me, and I know like you kind of use. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of do use like maybe SMT concepts and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I don't use them for entries. I just use them to honestly tell me
market
trade.
structure wise.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So if you look at the Monday late in the session, it would be Eastern time. That would be 2 p.m.
1:30. Yep, got it.
Or, sorry, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, 3:15 with the Trump tweet where we just gapped on NQ, where we just skyrocketed like 270 points. Yep. We kind of come back down now to fill that news gap. And now I could definitely see that long bias come in play where we came back down to fill it and now maybe want to move higher.
Yeah. The other stat that Andre talked about with us last Wednesday, you use it too, that opening week range.
Yes.
I think today, especially with the fact that we need to break that. I mean, this could, of course, with my luck, it would be the first week in the past year that we don't break it. But depending on what we get for directional bias today, like if the IB comes in bullish, I think that's going to push us up to 613.
Sure.
Today
have we taken the lows on that opening week range?
No.
I was looking at that pre-market. We're still actually trading inside of it.
Yeah, and we are we're away from both of them, but we're right smack dab at that 50% for the week.
Yeah. So, I was looking at that actually pre-market. I was like, because normally Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I look at that opening week range. Obviously, you can't look at it on Monday and Tuesday for obvious reasons because it's a Monday and Tuesday high. But yeah, we're still trading completely inside it, like slap, as you said, it's like slap bang in the middle, bro.
Funny enough, we actually just bounced off of 50% of that. Marked up the weekly low to weekly high, and we wicked just below it. Asia lows are very close to. I think we're about $1.50 away from taking out yesterday's low, which is what I want to see. How do we know if the IB will be bullish? You got to wait. I unfortunately can't see the future. I wish I could. But you can get pretty damn close with edgeful stats. $605.05 is what I'm looking for. We're $1 away now. Really nice reversal on SPY too.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at the gas prices now in South Africa. It's gone up. Yeah, it's gone up not too much, bro, at all actually.
Lucky.
Yeah, like literally like probably like 10 cents.
Damn.
US.
Yeah, we're getting screwed then. $5.79 a gallon in San Diego.
Jeez, $1. That's pretty hefty, bro. I think if petrol price went up $1 in South Africa, everyone would be up in arms, bro. We'd be walking.
Do you guys use liters?
Yeah, liters. Yeah.
Okay. So
it is a little bit different. Yeah.
Correlated to the US would be like 28
cents. 28, yeah, because ours is, we work in liters. It's actually a good point. Yeah, because you go by a gallon, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
2.2 euros per liter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's pretty hefty.
I do envy the metric system. It's a lot less confusing.
It's a lot more simple, I'll tell you that.
I remember the first time I learned it in school, I was like, why the hell do we not use this? Tell me one of these is 100 of those. It's as easy as that. 2.5 bucks per liter or $10 a gallon. Sheesh.
So NQ still, it's still struggling. We're still inside the opening range. Obviously, we're going to set that in the next 5 minutes.
Yep. I think we're going to go at least, we're going to have a quick wick up to 605, and I'll see if we sweep there.
Sure.
We swept London low already.
Yeah, some of the stocks starting, like Microsoft, trying to get green here. Let's have a look on the broader list. Yeah, Microsoft trying to get green. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA is not trading well at all, bro. That's the only thing. Tesla as well, not looking too great at the minute.
Kind of pittering out here a little bit. It would make sense that this would be a week that we don't break it. Not because I'm unlucky, but because we had a 1,300 point reversal on Monday. 1,700 actually with that Trump tweet.
Yeah.
And then since Monday's move, we haven't done anything. Wednesday was pretty bare. Tuesday was maybe a little directional, but really nothing since. How about SPY? How close is SPY to... Well, SPY smack dab in the middle of the range too. Either a $9 drop or a $9 pop. That's what we need. Did SPY ever break it last week? Almost. ES might have with slippage. SPY got about 10 cents away from that weekly low on Friday. So I guess last week it didn't break. This would be back-to-back weeks if we don't go and take that range. Yeah, AL's got a question for you in chat.
Let's have a look, yeah. What's up? Hey, Liam. Afternoon, boss. Good to check you. We'll have a call, Liam. I know you've been busy, brother. Hey, James, how long have you been trading for? I've been trading for 9 years. This is my 9th. January this year was the start of my 9th, yeah. So 9 years. That's why I've got no hair, bro. And how long have you been consistently profitable? So it took me about 18 months to start seeing any form of success. So I started trading beginning of 2018. And then 2018, 2019, and a little bit of into 2020 was still pretty tough. And then I started to really start, turning it on from about March 2020. And then I got given bankrolled by family members, and I had my first 6-figure in 2020. I think I did like $178,000 that year. But that was all on a personal brokerage account, right? So.
Very nice.
Before prop firms, and then from there, obviously, still trading my own cash accounts, but using prop firms obviously a lot more. It just makes more sense.
Yep, I haven't gotten to my own cash account yet for futures.
Yeah,
I'm on a hot streak and a half right now.
Yeah, you crushing it, bro.
I need to make 719 to take another 7,500 out of these accounts.
Nice.
It's 25.
Yeah, you've been smoking it, bro. What makes South Africans so successful? There are so many. Yeah, there's a lot of frauds as well. So just be careful. Everyone's a successful trader on Instagram, right?
Yep.
James, love that you trade YM. It's my favorite. Yeah, I love YM, bro. I looked at my stats year to date. My best, I can actually pull it up here on stream for you guys, but my best tickers year to date is, let's go to reports and then let's go to year to date. My best ticker year to date is, let's go to symbols. My best ticker year to date is the NASDAQ though. the NASDAQ, and then, so you can see I've made 21K, call it 22K on the NASDAQ, and then the DAX as well, a little bit. And then YM is also up there. So
what was that last one?
The DAX and YM.
What's
so
the
German,
DAX?
It's the German stock market index. It moves very similarly to the NASDAQ. It's nice for the London session because it's a Eurex market, so there's more volume in it, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The more you know.
James, how do you trade? VWAP and edgeful reports. Yeah, if you want. So keep it simple that way, right? VWAP and edgeful reports. I love using the VWAP and that. This is the DAX, by the way. Think FDAX. That's the ticker for the.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but basically, edgeful reports based with my interpretation of the market as well. But I really like relying on those edgeful reports because sometimes we can be not seeing the market too great, especially when maybe in a down streak, and that can be pretty tough.
Just took out Asia low.
So look, yeah, we're taking our lows here at the moment, even on ES now, rolling back down, bro.
Yep. Most mornings I'm 50-50 with the bias this week, but just don't marry it. I was bullish for a bias yesterday, and then I switched to the bearish once the IB took that low. And both James and I ended up winning. James took longs off that bounce, and then it ended up failing.
Yeah, I must say, bro, I did fight the trend yesterday on YM. It would have been a much easier short, but I made money. So
yeah, yesterday was difficult.
Yeah,
it looked, especially with how close we were to taking out Tuesday's high, that would have made it a lot cleaner on the week. But now we're in the same mess that we were last week.
Yeah. Someone says their taxes are better for personal account. Well, it depends where you live. In South Africa, obviously the tax code and that will be different. So, yeah.
In the US, you have a tax benefit to trading futures.
Nice.
So SPX is as opposed to trading SPY, or ES as opposed to trading SPY, it's like 20% as opposed to 30-something, 33.
Dude, that's so many different laws. My dad and father-in-law are both accountants, bro. So they deal with all my stuff for me.
I need a relationship like that.
Which is obviously pretty cool, bro. You don't pay anything to your accountants. Like, yeah.
All right, we're getting a pretty nasty melt right now. It's a $2 drop in this candle.
Okay, so someone's asking sorry, Zinc. This is a good.
Yeah, go for it.
This is a good question. Bruce, how do you trade futures on FDAX with brokers? My luck has been that the futures prop firms don't allow SA citizens, and the ones that do don't have FDAX as an instrument. That's a good question. You cannot trade your own money as futures as a South African. You can't trade with Trader8 with your own money. Yeah, it's impossible. They won't let you do it. What you will have to do is trade with prop firms, and the only prop firm that I know that allows FDAX as a ticker is Traderfy. That's what I know because I've traded it. So yeah, I trade my own personal cash accounts as CFDs. I use the futures pricing because it's just easier. Like when Zinc's on stream and he's saying, I'm looking at NASDAQ closing below 700. I don't want to be like, geez, well, my CFD pricing is nowhere near that. So I use the futures pricing. You're still trading the same asset. It's just as a CFD contract. It's the exact same thing. So yeah, hope that helps.
Well, it looks like we just had a tweet behind that drop. That's why it's wicking up the way it is right now.
Surprising.
Other fronts will be activated if war persist. So with the CFDs, I actually trade pretty similar to how you do with what you risk. I just have to manually manipulate the sizing that I do.
Yes, true. Whereas like for me, I just am like, okay, plug in $1,000 and then I just select where my stop loss is, and I've got a EA that does it for me and works out my contract sizing.
It would be a lot easier on CFDs, but it's not too, with trading MES and M&Q, it's not too bad.
No, especially if you get used to what if you get used to trading futures, you know what the contract sizing should be, Yep. Yeah.
So in terms of this wick back up, definitely a news tweet, same thing that we saw yesterday.
Yeah. I'm not too sure about FTMO offering futures, but I haven't heard of that personally, but I do know the fibers are starting futures, but I don't think FTMO are. But FTMO, again, like for example, think the prop firms that I'm trading on, they CFD contracts, but I'm trading, will be US 500. That will be ES or US 100. That's on my screen over here, like this, right? Like US 30, that's YM. US 100, that's NASDAQ, NQ, right? So, yeah, it's just
that's what I look at because CFD markets open over the weekend.
Yeah, that's the cash market, correct. So I've actually know some traders that will look at the difference between the futures and cash market and try and manipulate it like that.
That's too many steps for me. I just look at it to see what Qs is doing over the weekend.
Sure. I think my algo just took a short, if I'm not mistaken. That was the noise going off there.
Damn news tweet again. Look at that reverse.
Oh wow!
Full $2. It's going green now. Anytime that we see a candle like this, sorry, I cut you off there.
No, you're good.
Anytime we see a candle like this, I immediately, without news, you almost never see a $2 to $3 candle like that on Qs. At like 9:45, if we had PMI there, it would have made sense, but that was definitely a tweet, and that's why it's getting reversed like it is right now. Was that the orb algo you took?
Yeah, well, my algo took it. Yeah, on NQ. Pretorius, he had the. Oh, yeah, I'll put it in the chat there, bro. Those are the ones there. The one that I like is Top On Futures. Zinc, I think you've traded with them as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. We can't trade with Lucid, bro. I would like to, but
Lucid is.
Yeah. So I've got a different passport as well, but because I'm based in South Africa, they won't let me trade with them, and they won't allow me to use a VPN either. So, yeah.
Lucid's top of the game right now.
Yeah, we're bouncing on YM2, bro. It's a tricky market, I must say.
I think it was Asia lows that we just swept pretty hard.
Correct.
But definitely, I mean, not really much you can do with the tweet move.
Yeah. So, James, when you say algo took it, you mean the edgeful algo? Yes, correct, the edgeful algo. And are you profitable with it? Yeah, I mean, I'm up year to date on it. I'm always tweaking it, but there's no complaints that side. I'm making money and sometimes losing money while on the road. So
coming back down now.
Yeah.
So I forget who it was that had a question about this earlier. The IB is now bearish because we have the high form first into the low. This can change if we go and take a new high. Probably not that likely in the next 28 minutes with the size of the range now. What I opened the stream with is the IB. Depending on the direction of the IB, this is going to give us the direction that we want to take for the rest of the week. So if we have a bearish IB and we only have an 18% chance of going and having a double break to the upside, it's possible, but that means it's more likely that we're probably going to go down to our opening week low as opposed to reverse all the way back up to 613.
Sure.
We did not end up taking the outside day stat yet.
We got some guys long ES in the chat. Got a question. Yeah, I do actually appreciate that. Some of the Americans, bro, they're like, you trade CFDs, stuff it, but they don't ask any questions. It actually is cool to see different perspectives of it. So, James, what's a CFD prop then that you like? I know it could be South Africa specific. It's actually not. So,
sound like
in fact, actually, before futures prop firms, say again.
I said your algo ding again. Did it take profit on that?
Yes, it took profit. Yeah, on NQ. Yeah,
nice.
I was in at. I'll show you the screen now. 736 and out at 689.
Very nice.
FTMO have been around since 2015. They're great. They actually just bought Owanda, which Owanda is they are a legal broker in the States, a CFD broker, right? So, yeah, they bought them for $170 million. So I think they're doing pretty well, bro. So FTMO is a great prop firm that I love using. Again, another nice one is Top One. I do like them too. But yeah, that in NASDAQ just melting right now, bro. Wow.
Yeah, nasty drop. Rolo, if you use my code for Lucid when you bought the account, it will automatically apply to the reset on it. But the resets are always going to be cheaper than buying new accounts for Lucid. Which is another reason why they're better. one of the best firms in the space. Yeah, I traded Top One Futures was actually one of the first firms I got a payout on.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And then
Enough, bro.
took a little spiral down. I had a rough break with them.
So James, what top? So I don't use a top step account. I use my actually for the edgeful algo. I use my own personal cash account for the edgeful algo. And then I got another one, James. I copy trade of my So that link that I put in the chat before, that's the trade copy I use for CFDs. I've used them for 3 years. They're fantastic. I've never had any issues. So that's that. They're a little bit much better than TradeSync, but a little bit easier to connect because the things are a lot. I think there's been CFDs have been like trade copying's been around a lot longer, right?
Yeah. Paulo, you said, Zinc, you don't take the London 50 anymore. We didn't actually get a reaction at London 50. I don't trade the first 15-minute candle, and unfortunately with the London 50, that's where most of the reactions happen. We didn't get quite up to that 50. The only one that I kind of missed this week was on Monday. I still use the London 50 every day. It's more so of a bias tool now. So for that London 50 tool, if we're over or under it, if we're under London 50, we're bearish. If we're over it, we're bullish. For today, again, I wanted to see a sweep up to previous day's low for that outside day stat. We didn't end up getting that, but we are both underneath London 50 and previous day's 50, which is a double confirmation for bearish bias.
Do you, Zinc, do you trade options at all?
Yeah, I sell options, but I've been in drawdown for like the past 6 months, so I haven't really manipulated
Has it been
them.
A bit more tricky?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's the consolidation has been rough, and I've also had some bad picks. I have to wait for the stocks to recover. Like I'm in bull. We were talking about this a while ago.
Sure.
I'm getting murdered on this. But holding stocks there's not really much that I can do for manipulation. I did make a mistake. I had HIMS and I ended up selling it at 15. Now it's back up to 25. But while I'm in drawdown on these,
when you say you sell options, are you explain that a little bit to me? That is not because we can't do options in South Africa. Explain that a little bit more.
So do you know how options work when you buy them?
Yes, very generally from Andre.
So if I want to go short, I buy a put.
Okay.
And the only downside to that is that the put, it's going to cost me like $200.
Sure.
If it takes, like yesterday, how it took 2 hours for it to go and take previous day's low.
Yep.
The theta decay is what I end up losing on if I buy the option. The theta decay is what I win on if I sell the option. So selling options is beneficial when the market is less volatile.
Sure.
Because you capitalize on the theta decay. The longer it takes for the move to happen, the more money you make.
Okay.
But when the market, like we're transitioning right now, all the small caps I was in are kind of getting hit pretty hard. Bitcoin's getting hit pretty good.
You know what's funny is I had to learn about that in my degree, bro, but I forgot about that.
But the main benefit to it is that when you do get assigned on the position, so if you do technically lose, you just end up buying the shares for the price that you sold the option for.
Sure. Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting way of. Yeah. Yeah, ES now taking out those, well, they've taken out the Asia lows. The NASDAQ algo was, I can bring up my screen quickly. Yeah, it was in at, as you can see on the left-hand side there, sell 736 and out at 689. So like, what's that, 40 points?
46 points. Almost 50.
Yeah.
Monism said you can actually trade on Interactive Broker. I have an account and I'm in South Africa. The only downside to that is that the fees are crazy for trading outside the US.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that it takes long to wire the money, bro. Like for my personal trading account, if I make a deposit or withdrawal, it's within minutes. Whereas like Interactive Brokers, to wire the money there, it could take like a week.
Yeah. Do you have to own the shares and options to sell them? Yes. Yes, you do. But Interactive Broker, I know some people that use it in Canada, it's like 65 cents all the way up to $1 per option contract that you open, which doesn't seem like much, but for the ones I do, I'm selling them for like $20 a piece. I'll sell 20 contracts for $20 to $40 a piece, and that dollar fee for buying and selling eats most of the profits.
Yeah. See, look at NVIDIA now. NVIDIA and Tesla. That's what I was speaking about. Like,
failing too.
I saw what you were looking at, but like NVIDIA and Tesla, just when they roll over like this, they will bring the indexes lower. You know,
it was only one little pop that I was looking for to that 604. I don't think that we'll have too much more of a meltdown today, but this does set us up really well for taking out that low tomorrow. We're $9 away from that now. We do on Tesla. If you remember that little strategy I mentioned yesterday, we had an open green, so you wait for the second 5-minute candle. Inverse that one. That one would have been a short, stop loss at 406. This one ended up having another $6 drop after that inversion. Very nice. And we're actually getting a very nice retracement to 50% of the IB. Hopefully it doesn't keep melting down too much. I might end up taking it on SPY today. We'll see. I'll actually pull up both. I'll get my Tradeify accounts up as well. So I would always rather, for anyone that is thinking about using a trade copier, I'd rather have 2 tabs open where I'm the one, I just have to switch between the 2 tabs and take the trade, as opposed to being the one that plugs into a third-party client and relies on them for closing and opening the other trades. Made 300, so I'm out. Very nice. Does this Zinc guy ever take trades? I do. I took one yesterday. I just don't trade the opening move.
I like how you can be crushing it, bro, and have one stream where you maybe even take a loss and they're like, what the hell's happening? I have to do this. Yeah. That's why you just have to like focus on yourself.
I guess Tasty Trades for option trading. I haven't used it, so I have no opinion on that. The one that I really did want to try was what's the name of it? It starts with a P, but they give you cash back per option contract you open. There we go. So we just need to hold right here for the next 20 minutes, and then I can take the short for the IB. The reason it's too early to enter right now is we could definitely, with the volatility where it is, we can definitely go and take a new high from here. And we could counter everything that I've been saying for shorts over the past 15 minutes. Funny how trading works like that. Atlay said Zinc is patient. Yeah, you don't always need to be in a trade. How many trades would you say you take per day, James?
Probably 2 to 3, maybe on average. 1 to 3.
On the higher end, it does say that I take more, like 5 trades, but adding into a trade counts. So yesterday, even though it was 1 trade that I had on the IB, it counted as 2 because I had 2 entries. I would say I take no more than probably 3 trades a day. I'll take multiple entries into the same trade, but I don't think I take more than 3 a day.
Yeah. But I don't count that as more trades. So it's still the same idea. Yeah.
Public, thank you, Turret Buddy. Yeah, Public, they give you rebates on opening option contracts, which is really nice. When I'm referring to IB or you're talking about Globex, you can trade the IB for any market open, any time frame you want. Globex, Asia Open, London Open, Pipti in here. He took it on Tokyo Open last night. And then obviously the New York Open IB. Is short valid at NQ near 50% retracement? Currently, no, it is if this was another 20 minutes. If it was 10:24 right now, I'd take the short. It's 10:04. We have more than enough time to go and take out a new IB high. Same exact thing we did yesterday, right? long. With first 45 minutes were up, and then that last 15-minute candle made a new IB low. So that switched our bias. It's too early to go in with a short bias. Now I am in a short bias, but it's just too early to take the entry, is what I mean. I should have said. Which open is the most consistent? They're all about the same. New York might be a little bit better by like 2 to 3%, but they all have about a 72 to 75% win rate. Globex I ended up taking last night on gold as well. So this was my entry. It was a sloppy trade. I chased it down. I saw the 50% rejection, and then I also got out before 8 o'clock because gold's very volatile during that 8 o'clock open, which is Asia open. And then you can also trade that for Asia if you wanted to. So you can go mark out your Asia low, mark out your Asia high. And this one's a little tricky to see because they're overlapping, but you can see low form first into the high. So you're targeting the high for a break, which happened at 9 o'clock. 9:15, sorry. But for today, what I'm going to be looking for, if we can get it and get lucky enough, we want price to hang out right where it is right now. We don't want, for shorts, we don't want a new high to get taken. The other indicator that I'm looking for, and I'm going to keep mentioning it throughout the stream and tomorrow as well, is that opening week range because of how high of a success rate we have at taking that. What's the earliest you take a trade? I don't trade the first 15-minute candle. That's a hard rule that I have, so I will not take a trade before 9:45. I guess the earliest I'd take one, maybe like 9:50, but that's about it.
Yeah, just a little bit rangy right now, same as yesterday, besides the flush down, obviously. I like the shorts though, yes, but again, we're back inside the range.
Rolo just sent a picture in Discord. Said petrol price per liter in Sydney tonight, 239. 230.9. I don't know how to read that in your terms of price per liter, but I'm assuming that's expensive. 1 to 2 and I'm done, and that's with 2 models. There you go, Tyree. Yeah, for everyone in the chat, how many trades would you say you aim to take per day? And I'll give you a hint if you're thinking about typing in like 10 trades. That's probably not the answer.
Dude, I think the lower time frames for newer traders can be like a vortex, dude. They just overtrade.
Especially if you find yourself getting stuck.
Yeah. So what price level are you looking to short Enki on that the 50% retracement or 25?
Yep. So we need it to hang on here a little bit. I am going to look to take a short at 24,730.
730. Okay, yeah. We're getting there now.
Price is going to be down to 630. So it's about 100-point short.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a 100-point stop on it. If I do take this on MNQ, it's going to be 1 because I usually aim to risk 200 per trade.
Sure.
And then MES, let's see. MES is actually looking a lot stronger than Qs right now. That one's pretty close to going to taking a new high on the IB. So MES would be in another 22 minutes. That is entry at 714, target at 6697. SPY is getting stronger. Yeah, it's almost actually at a new IB high right now. Never too late to get into the market, Joe. Never too late to get into it. 6-7, don't say that. Yeah, 1 trade, 2 trades, 6 trades, 3 trades, 2 to 3 trades, 2 trades. My best days are under 6. 2 to 3 trades, 2 trades. So opening week range is Monday and Tuesday's full days. Yes. So Monday and Tuesday gives you your high and low for the week. Monday formed our low. Tuesday formed our high. And then we have, over the past 49 weeks, we've had 1 week that has not broken out of that range. Meaning that that's about a 98% chance that we break the range formed on those days. And funny enough, that 1 week on SPY was actually last week. Last week never ended up breaking the range. We missed it by about 18 cents. Missed the low by about 18 cents on Friday last week. And then never broke. All right, look at this reversal back up. What is going on here? This might do the same exact thing we did yesterday, James.
Yeah, just a little bit of chop, right? We pulled back higher before we dropped yesterday. So
yeah.
YM's at opening range high now.
YM made a new IB high?
Yeah, but it's at opening range high, so
SPY is about to do the same thing, which changes my bias completely. Q's is very weak though. Q's is well below 50%. Thanks, Mr. Zink, for controlling my overtrading. This is controlled by only doing the IB. That is going to be your biggest enemy in trading, is getting in when you're not supposed to, or just overtrading in general. Yeah. Especially if you're trading without, like, all the trades that I take are data backed. So inside bars, we have an 87% chance of breaking those. I know that the IB, that has a 75 to 80% chance in any given weekday. If you trade outside, or if I were to trade outside of knowing when price should go and move, and I'm guessing, that's when you're going to lose the most. I don't think gap fill will happen, but isn't it? Yeah, you have to, for those stats, you have to make sure that you're also looking at the table for the gap fill. So the gap fill does say that we have a 67% chance of filling it, but that's 3 outcomes that have happened. We've had 3 gaps down of this size. 2 of them have filled, 1 of them hasn't. That wouldn't be, that's too low of a data point.
Yeah, that's very.
If we go to like 2 years, you can see it drops all the way down to 36% because it's happened 11 times. Only 4 of them have filled. So the trend over the past 6 months is that we should fill it, but I wouldn't put too much emphasis behind this. It's only 3 data points.
Yeah, NQ just chopping around, yeah.
SPY is looking like it's gonna go. It is gonna go take a new IB high right here. Forget everything I just said. We gotta switch it up again. We're going to the moon.
What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's, yeah, it's 70K. It's not really doing much at the moment.
Shh. You talk about it goes down.
Yeah.
Apologies if you already answered this. Do you risk more on your challenges than you do on your funded account? I, at most, and I have a solid answer for this now, I at most risk 2 times as much during the challenge accounts. The only difference is I might take more trades in the evals. For instance, the evals is where I do the riskier trades. Yesterday, I took 4 M&Q short on the funded. I took 4 M&Q short on the eval as well to target that downside to previous day's low. When I'm in the funded account, and you can touch upon this if you'd like, James, I like to, so I'm up 140 on the day right now. I'm fine with having a break-even day. I'm fine with risking that 140. Oh, you got up and left. I'm fine with risking that 140 to either make a little bit more profit on the day or go down to $0 in the day. So now I'm up 140. If I win, let's say 200 on the next trade, we take the IB and we end up winning 200 on it, or we lose 200, I'm going to end my day at -70. or I'm going to end my day at 339. Or I could use that 339 as the buffer for the day and go and target a little bit more, or target a little bit more with this, or target a little bit more with this trade. I'll use my profit on the day to be a little riskier. I'm always done my day after 2 losses. The times that I don't end my day after I lose twice are the times I end up blowing accounts. So I'll use the buffer, the green or the profit that I made on the day. I'll use that as an increased risk. And then I end my day after 2 losses.
Nice. Yeah. I think that's a good question, because I think you do have to be more aggressive on the evals. You don't want to spend like 2 months on an evaluation account, right? So I'm also more aggressive on that.
Will add in though is that this is why I recommend everyone to Lucid. Lucid's one of the only firms that has a one-time payment. So if you are a beginner trader,
oh nice,
you don't need to be rushing your eval, so you don't need to be worrying about a monthly recurring billing. Lucid, you have a one-time payment. It's $1,250 to pass the account and get to funded. You can take 6 months to pass that account if you wanted to. You could do it in 2 months. If you're a beginner trader, that's where you want to start out with, though, so you're not rushed.
Yeah, because obviously you don't want to be, trying to full port the account.
Yep. IB stands for initial balance, and for today, actually, for the initial balance, Thursdays are the worst days for the IB. So if we have the high form first, we need to make sure that SPY and Qs are lined up. SPY might be a dick right now and go and take out a new high. Qs is still just below 50%. One-time payment offered by Lucid and Goat Funded. I haven't used Goat Funded. Their CEO did reach out to me a long while ago, but I never ended up following suit with that.
Dude, there's so many now. Just pick like one up. Pick 2 or 3 and stick to that.
Yeah, there's a million different choices you can go with.
I'm getting interested in maybe some shorts here, bro. Yes, is back at the daily VWAP.
I do like shorts too. I just don't want SPY to go take a new high.
Sure.
Is the VWAP above ES right now?
Yes, New York session, but we're underneath overnight.
Okay. That's over New York, but underneath overnight?
It's underneath overnight over New York. Yeah. We're sitting at New York at the moment. You can see over here. So this is ES. We're sitting, the New York session VWAP is that blue one, and the black one is the overnight. So I do like this price level. You can maybe go stop at like the opening range high, something like that. We'll see how this 5-minute closes. James, how are you interpreting the Mag 7? It seems to be under VWAP. Yeah, so Mag 7, you can actually get the Mag 7 stocks all on one chart. You can just put them all on one, and it is looking pretty bearish at the moment. Like, I don't know if you knew you could do this. Think like you'll show me the compare button, but you can actually see I've got Apple, Nvidia, Tesla all on one chart. So it shows me what they're doing all as one. And
I used to do that with the 4 split screens, but it gave me a headache looking at it.
Yeah, I don't. So but what I mean is like it pulls all the data from every single one of the Mag 7 stocks into one chart.
You can do that with I've just never done that with the ad.
Yeah. So we are trading obviously underneath. We've broken opening range low and previous day's lows, which is there. And now we are trading lower. So I like the shorts in continuation. That's how I'm interpreting it.
Yeah, I do like shorts right now too. SPY's looking a lot better. So we're probably going to end up taking it on SPY again today.
Sure.
Qs, 11 minutes left for the IB. Qs is at like 25% of it now. Lucid Pro is the one that I like, Caesar. Will you enter for IB by rejection?
There's actually so many options, bro. It's actually ridiculous. Like, not only with firms, but also like each firm has like 2 or 3 different account types.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. Every firm has like 3 different choices for you to go with different accounts. And then you also have the sizing that you can pick between.
Sure.
There's plenty of choices. Definitely going to be taking on SPY today. So SPY, we're looking for an entry 6714. So it's going to be about a 16-point trade. 17-point trade. I'll go in with two MES on that. I'm going to give it another 4 to 5 minutes, and then we can take the entry. It's right at 50% right now. Whole bunch of tweets coming out from Walter Bloomberg as well.
Walter Bloomberg.
Trump is concerned about rising energy prices. Iran, supreme leader. We will deliver the most severe blows to the aggressor enemy by maintaining the strategy of keeping the Strait of Hormuz closed. Great times. Why SPY today? Because Q's is, had I taken the entry 10 minutes ago, Q's would have been a lot better. SPY is the one that's closer to 50%. I like taking whichever one. No, it doesn't have to be weaker. I like taking the one that's at 50%. And then also goes with risk as well. So I don't want to MNQ. If I take the trade right now, it's a 50-point risk versus having 150 point risk versus having a 50-point reward. That doesn't make sense. And I'm guilty of this too. Yesterday, I took an early entry at 25% of the IB. I put the stop loss at 1-to-1. The IB is still valid until the high or low is broken. So I lost 140 on the first trade because I put my stop loss too tight. That's why I like entering at 50%, and then I put my stop at the IB high, which is where it's invalidated, or I put my stop at the IB low, which is where it's invalidated, depending on which direction we're doing for the day. And then the final note on that, not taking a trade is fine too. You don't have to take a trade every day.
Yeah, we are looking pretty bearish. Yeah, what's YM doing? YM was at YM big bar back down. It was at opening range high. Now we came all the way back down to opening range low of day, 180-point bar.
Yeah, Qs too. So I'm gonna be looking for a limit sell at 6714. I gotta make sure the trade copier is working too. So screw me several times this week. Switching between these firms on Tradeovate, the trade copier always deactivates. Good luck, Joe. And we're getting a good little bounce right now, so we might get an entry. We've got 7 minutes until the IV's closed. How long do you think it took you to get over the patience aspect of trading?
Myself.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's sometimes still a work on. But yeah, probably I'd say like 4 years, bro. Like even after becoming profitable, it still gets tricky from day to day.
Yeah.
Because you also have to deal with different market conditions too, right? Like, you know, markets change.
Yep. How many trades did you take in that one day to build your buffer on day one of the 25K funded? I actually only took 3, and it wasn't even crazy size. I want to point out that the days that I had my biggest profit, the market's also moving the most, but it's directionally moving as well. So I took, during the stream, I ended up taking a loss on my funded futures accounts because the IB that just failed that day. It was a 9.8% outcome that we broke the high, which it did. On Lucid, as soon as the IB broke the high, I ended up getting long on the retracement down to 597 and caught like a $4 move to the upside, which is about 180 points on Qs. So 4M and Q for 180 points, $1,200, just about. And that's when most of my profit comes from. If you notice the days that I didn't have very much profit, it's the days where the IB's chopping, like last Thursday, last Wednesday when I only took a $50 win on ES. Those are the days that I have low profit when the market's not really moving. The market decides how much you make. You don't need to go and set specific profit target, like I need to make $1,000 today. If you do that, then you're going to take trades that you shouldn't be taking because you're going to try to make sure you reach that $1,000 profit.
Yeah, I think having like daily goals like that can be quite. It just puts unnecessary pressure on you.
Yeah, and that's exactly why prop firms have minimum days requirements and 5 minimum days to pay out. So it puts people on the track that says, okay, I need to make 500 a day for the next 5 days to get X payout. If I don't make 500 for this day, I need to make it up on the next day, and then you end up blowing your account doing that. All right, 5 minutes to go. It's still a little early to enter. We are at 50%. Do I want to take it? Do I want to take it, James?
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is that we are at this Asia low on ES. It does look good though, I must say. Like, but that's the only thing I don't like about it. I'm gonna hold off for now, bro. Like, let me explain also, like maybe what I'm kind of seeing here on the charts. But let's go like this. Let's go like that.
I'm definitely taking it. I just need to make
sure. No, for you from you trade very much like systematically RB. You have to, right? You can't. You was mentioning on stream yesterday. You can't pick and choose. Oh well, this trade won, so I'm, you get caught up very much like that. But if we don't so on this retest here, that would have been like a nice entry for me if I was being aggressive off of that daily VWAP.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see what we do at these lows here. If we don't. This is ES, so I know you're going to trade NQ, but if we don't take a new low here, this could hold up here and we could end up coming back up to opening range.
Yeah.
That's just
I'm going to take it on ES today.
Yeah. Oh, but the long though, hey?
A short.
Oh, sorry, short. Yeah. So
I'm actually.
But you would have to wait for what price on ES?
6,714. We just hit it.
Okay, 714.
I just did my order in.
Okay.
The patience factor to the IB is not getting in too early because the IB technically isn't formed until 10:30.
Yeah.
By not putting my order too early. What am I saying? Got the fill at 6,714.
Yeah, because you got to wait until the actual IB actually sets in. Yeah.
So last Thursday, a great example of one that I got in too early. The IB was bullish, and then the last 5 minutes. So 10:25 to 10:30, it dropped all the way down to almost a new IB low and then broke the IB low. So I ended up taking a 30-ish point loss on that because I got in too early.
Sure.
So that's why the complication was patience. Front ran it, took profits already. I'm going to go ahead and put my order in now. So sell 10, 2M and Q, 2M ES, sorry. And then I'm just going to put my buy stop in. Entry is going to be at 714.
Yeah, we come.
I probably could have gotten the entry if I was a little more aggressive. Hit at 1025, which is technically after. It is after my 1023 window. I just didn't have the order placed soon enough.
Yeah, NQ coming down quite nicely. That was actually a nice wick on it. A 40-point wick.
Oops. If I do happen to get filled on this, which is not looking that likely, unless we somehow come back up 10 points, this is going to be $150 risk reward, which is under what I typically aim for. But again, my foot's been on the gas pretty hard recently. So taking a little break day, especially on a Thursday, not taking a trade's fine. We don't have a draw after this IB breaks. We do have the weekly low. I don't think we're going to drop another $8 today. We're already down 1.3%. So after this trade's done, I think the IB's probably, or price for the rest of the day is probably just going to do something like this. And like James is pointing out, we might also reverse back up.
Yeah, I mean, we don't look bullish right now, but we did snap. That's why, interestingly enough, yesterday I took the longs on wine, but we did snap back hard quite aggressively. But I was looking to trade off of those pre-market lows. So we are sitting at them at the moment on on ES. Like pre-market lows was at 706. We're sitting at 704 at the moment. So
I might end up missing this trade today. I should have taken it at 10.25 in hindsight. It's dropping like a rock now. It's also, there's a new IB low right there, just about. I definitely end up missing this one.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm flushing.
New low made. Damn it. I don't have Andre here. Blame. Shoot.
Andre's probably shorting. That guy loves to short, bro.
Yeah, he does. Chila, I do. Yeah, it's code Zinc for Lucid. This trade got me a 2K payout. There you go, Bobby. IB's already taken, so we can go ahead and cancel it over son of a gun. That was my own fault. I should have gotten in at 10.25. I was yapping too much. But you can see right there, 10.23 is my rule for getting in. Perfect retest at 6.714. Oh, it's Bob. Yeah, it's all your fault, Bob. So I'm not going to be taking anything else for bias today. We don't have. I don't see a draw to the downside. Yesterday we had that inside bar, so previous day's low that I was getting drawn to for price. Now that the IB's broken already, we don't really have a strong confluence for pushing further lower, especially being down 1.5% just about already. Anyone in the stream happen to get the entry at 6.714? Sensei, you did. Nice. Time to start front running at 10.15 and 10.20. No, it still hit the good time frame today, Tyree. I just missed it. This is my own fault. You took M and Q at 25%. You got it too, Rebo? Nice. Or were you saying you missed it, Rebo? Ivy is goated. W and M and Q. Nice, Ash. Yeah, Ash, that was just a miss on my part, but the 10.25 entry was really nice there. Hit 50% perfectly and then full TP on SPY. So that would have been 34 points, 17 points for 2 MES, 34. Got it in hit full TP, got it at 10.25, got it at 50%. Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice entry on ES.
Yeah, that's as good as the models can get. 10.15 entry short to M and Q for you. Did we hit 50% at 10.15 too? We did.
Yeah, it was 50% of the orb.
Nice.
Yeah, I should have taken that short probably, but we'll see what happens rest of the session.
Did you have anything?
I think as well, think like I think as you trade long enough, you always know there's going to be another trade, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to take it. Yeah. No,
I'll have Globex IB tonight. I'll have the IB tomorrow. No one gets rich in one day. Yeah,
you can lose it all in one day, though. So that's why you got to be careful.
Yep.
There's actually one of the guys in the that I've worked with. He's like, no one's ever become. You don't get rich from one trade, but you can definitely screw it up in one day.
Mm-hmm.
No, guys, we trading underneath VWAPs now. It's a tougher long to take right now. So there's nothing also telling me to look for longs. Nvidia's down 2%, Tesla's down 2%, Apple's down 2%. There's nothing like, it's not like Nvidia's trading higher, or trying to bounce.
My guess for tomorrow is that we're going to go and hit 591 on Qs, which is our opening week low.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
For the rest of the day today, first off, the expansion on a Thursday with this larger range, we have a 20% chance of going to half a standard deviation. So very slim chance we continue. I think today probably just going to do something like this. And we've done this for the past 2 weeks as well. After the IB broke, Yesterday was a little exception, but you can see it still never hit half standard deviation. It just pittered out for the rest of the day. Same exact thing. The only thing that could change this is if we have a tweet from Trump, which nothing that we can predict. There's nothing you can do about that. And it usually comes at 3 o'clock. Yesterday did the same exact thing right at like 2:30, 3:15 on Monday, 3:15 on Friday last week. Why 1023 specifically? That is just where I've had the best back testing results. So anytime I enter before 1023, the sooner you enter on the IB, the more risk you take on for the IB invalidating before your trade's technically invalid. And what I mean by that is if a new IB high forms, so on SPY, we got 20 cents away. We were 20, 30 cents away from taking a new high. So that would have invalidated a short bias and turned it to a long bias. Another very difficult note, and I'm sure James can add to this as well. Not taking a trade or taking a loss, or what I just did, I missed the trade. The urge to go and revenge trade something else because you're mad that you missed the trade is another terrible aspect of trading that's going to hit you, and you need to fight the urge not to take a trade after you miss one or you take a loss.
Yeah.
So I could easily go in and short right now on Qs because I'm mad that I missed the trade, and I take a loss in that short, and then I'm setting myself up for tilt for the rest of the day.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, this is trading. Like, you know, we can show you exactly how we trade in that, but it all comes down to the discipline of the trader from a discretional trading perspective, right? Obviously, algos are different, but yeah.
That's hilarious. Not what user said. Sorry, I'm going to try to forward this
the chat. Yeah, no.
Let's see if that sends. I just sent it to you on Discord.
Let's have a look.
I don't know if it sent the link or if it actually sent the picture.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
The model did work today. The IB did work. I was just yapping too much. I missed the entry. It's my fault. Huge day for trading the IB to the low. Holy smokes, Wiz. Will you stream Globex? I'll try to stream it tonight. I did say I was going to try to do one stream a week on it. 0.5 extension, very slim chance we get that today. We go to IB by levels. We can go to, you can see we actually haven't even had a Thursday of this size with a continuation anyway. I'll go double check on Qs here. Yeah, there you go. So we have a 20% chance, 1 in 5 chance that price will continue to 0.5 standard deviation to the downside, which is continuing down to 596. And the reason being, our range on the IB today is very large. So this is our range right here, 0.9%. Very slim chance we have a continuation. I got it, Tyree. Win an ES here. You guys can come at me with pitchforks. I missed it today. It was a good entry, perfect entry model. I just missed it. Lord Pratt's question for Zinc: if you miss the IB, you don't take any other trades, any other strategies you regularly trade. All the other models that I look at, inside bars, outside days, continuations, those are all done today. We don't have an inside bar, so I can't target previous day's low or previous day's high. I missed the IB trade, so I don't have any validation there. And then we also are currently down 1.5%. So the likelihood that we continue lower with this large of a drop already, very slim. 1 in 5 chance that we continue lower to 0.5 standard deviation. 18% chance that we go up to IB high. So I am all done for the day. It's going to be one of my lower days for the week. 139 profit from last night. Range is for the outside day stat. It's a 75% chance that we go up to previous day's low. But if we go up to previous day's low, that's also us breaking the high of the IB, which a double break only happens 18% of the time. So too many mix match stats today. What about IB by retracement? You could. I still have yet to find a valid entry model for that, because sometimes it retraces 25%, sometimes it retraces 50%, sometimes it retraces 10%. The IB by retracement is a difficult one to get in on. You look at the lunch hour today, probably not. No. I tried not trading after 11.
Yeah, I sometimes do have a look at the evening session, dude, but it can be like a lot more scalpy plays, right?
Yeah. I will say, for just stat wise, 80% of the movement, this is why I don't trade in the afternoon, 80% of the movement for the week happens outside of New York session. For that 20% that does happen during New York session, 90% of that movement happens within the first hour and last hour of the day. So power hour and the IB is when 90% of New York movement happens. The other 10% is news that you have at like 2 o'clock. For the most part, your afternoon session, Tuesday, great example. Tuesday went 10:45 all the way to 2 o'clock with maybe moving 50 cents. Lunch hour range sucks anyway. Yeah, because everyone's out to lunch. No one's trading that. My very detailed drawing of my arrow here is what I think we're going to do for the rest of the day. I'm going to leave it on for tomorrow's stream. But sorry we missed that today, guys. That was my own fault. It definitely could have capitalized on $150 there. I should have. Globex stream would be great. Looking forward to it. I'll try to do one tonight. I see using edgeful a 70% chance to reach 6684 at the 25% retracement. I get a reshort and then target the 0.3 extension. Thoughts? You could definitely do that with ES. Again, that's just more trades to look. More trades, sometimes they're a good thing if you have confidence behind it. Most of the time, it's just extra losing opportunities is the way I would look at it. I don't like having a lot of exposure in the market either. I like being out of it as much as I can. Go next. There will always be another opportunity. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's again, as you said, like that's where traders also, I think once you have like a winning trade, they go and they take it like a second and third trade and they give back the profits.
Yeah.
I think, Zink, the biggest thing after this, I'm speaking on my own experience though, but I think a lot of traders do suffer from this, but where like your average winning day could be like, let's just say it's $100 and you win 4 days, Monday through Thursday, $100. Mm-hmm. And then Friday comes and you have a losing day and you lose $600. And then you've actually had 80% of your days in the week winning days, but you gave back on all of your profits and more on one day, you know?
Yeah. Overtrading is the devil, as Bobby Boucher's mom would say. There will always be another losing opportunity. I guess it is kind of looking at it as me saying another losing opportunity. It's a glass half full as opposed to half empty. Overexposing yourself to the market almost always leads to more losses because trading itself is a losing statistic.
Yeah, the more you click, the more you can lose.
Trading isn't something that you can come and have luck at. It's also not something that is wildly profitable. You have, I think the stats, 97% of day traders fail. There's only 3% of profitable day traders, and that's it's not like any person can come and look at this and be like, I'm going to take a short now because I just have a feeling it's going to go down. Or I'm going to take a long because I feel it's going to go up. It's not something that you can get lucky at. And preventing yourself from tilting in the first place is the most important thing you can do. Preventing yourself from tilting. If you find yourself exactly what James just said, I'm up 140 on the day, I'm just going to go take one more trade just because. I don't have any confidence going up or down. I'm just going to guess that price is going to go up or guess that it's going to go down. Now I lost the 140 profit. So I'm going to try to take another trade that makes that 140 profit back. And then I'm going to end my day when I make that. And now I flip a 140 profitable day down to 600 in the red.
Yeah. Also, I think it's also got to do with, again, speaking from my own experience, I can only really speak for myself, right? But you have a winning day or you have a losing day, whatever it is, and you go on social media and like, man, this guy just made $5,000. And you're like, I only did 250. I need to go trade more. Something's happening here, bro. By the way,
I'm going to look for a tweet.
Yeah. And then you're like, I need to go trade. And then you end up maybe giving back profits or ending more in the red over risk because you're like, this guy just did $5,000. You know how it goes, like comparing yourself to others. And I think, at least for me, I'm only trading for my family, myself and my family.
Yep.
Right. I'm not trading for external validation or anything like that. So
my favorite button on social media is muting people.
Yep. On Twitter, you got that for you and following. I'm always on the following, bro. Sometimes that for you page can be so shit.
Yeah. And there's a reason I only follow like 50 odd people, 55 people. U.S. The only tweet I just saw right now: U.S. war with Iran cost 11.3 billion in first week. That's it.
Well, it's sending the markets higher.
Yeah,
dude. YM's just erased the whole move. That's why, again, like, I think if I can just put this on stream here, like,
go for it.
Look how YM. You want to be selling close to that VWAP. When you short, like, you think it's going to break out now, look what happens. You just reverse. That's why I liked the longs yesterday. You just reverse 200 points. Easy as that. Same as like NQ. You don't want to be shorting. I know Zing's got the data, like the RB in it, but just from my VWAP perspective, you don't want to be shorting down here. Look how far it is from the VWAP. Right now could actually where you wicked the New York session VWAP, which is that blue VWAP on the screen here. That's where you want to be in short at. So something like this, right? Like even like that pullback there was pretty nice. You could go stop above the VWAPs, like a 50-point stop, target back to the lows. That's another nice
that
short
just came all the way,
yeah, like that. You would be up 38 points right now. So you have to be obviously very quick with that one. But you don't want to be buying or selling far from that VWAP. So
for whoever just asked me the question on, who was it? Tyree. That's the downside. I don't think he's in here right now, is he? No, he left. That's the downside to the IB by retracement is sometimes, or Mark, if you're in here still, sometimes you get an entry at 50%. Like SPY just wicked all the way up to 60% of the IB. Sometimes it retraces 10%. Sometimes it retraces 20%. It's a very difficult measure to take the IB that way after it's already broken. Trump to suspend Jones Act to tame oil prices. And then along with that trade too, Mark, the IB by retracement, where do we put our stop loss on that trade? If it retraces 10%, do we do 1-to-1? And then we would have gotten stopped out there. If it retraces 25%, this is all stuff that comes after you either miss a trade or you lose a trade, and you're looking for something to make up that profit that you could have made. This is never, you never end up looking for more trades after you're up a decent amount on the day. But it's only after you take a losing trade or you miss a trade that you're like, I need to find something else to take.
Bro, that 1 minute on NASDAQ just worked up into 720 and back down to 610.
These tweets are ridiculous. Enough of the tweets. What's going on, Bear? See you typing. But Zinc, if you have draw, you will still take a retracement trade, right? Yes. I will. Yesterday is a much better example because we still had previous day's low that price was targeting. Today, we don't have any draws to the down. We actually only have a 20% chance of going to 596, which correlates to on M&Q like 24.5. We only have a 20% chance of going to that level. So it's a slim chance. With 20% chance we go down, 18% chance we go up, meaning that price is statistically it's going to stay within like this 15-minute range for the rest of the day. It's going to stay underneath 603 and it's going to stay over 596. There's no draw up or down. But if you have a winning trade, you're playing with your house money. Yeah, I suppose. You got me there, Bear. All right, that means we go five minis on NQ longs right now. Flip a coin.
Hi, Bruce. Can you explain again how you use VWAP frame your trades, like daily VWAP and New York session VWAP? Yeah, for sure. Let's
take the screen.
So if we look at, let's just look at ES. Kind of every single morning I have a plan for the day. I do those pre-market streams Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So make sure to come join. But basically, I figure out like what direction I'd like to trade in towards for the day. I look at pre-market highs and lows, previous days highs and lows, just for levels, see what stocks are doing, and then I wait for the opening range to set and take it from there. But basically, after the open, I want to see what price action is doing. Relative to the opening range. So we're trading we took out the opening range low, and we're trading below VWAPs with bearish market structure, like lower highs. So that's basically how I'm framing it, you know. And I did say on the pre-market stream this morning, I was looking for shorts because from a high time frame perspective, or we call it the weekly perspective, we took out that level that we were watching, that we were holding from Tuesday into Wednesday. We kind of broke it, retested off of it, and then moving back down lower. So, yeah, that's kind of how I use the VWAPs with the edgeful data, you know, combining them. So, yeah, let me know if that makes sense. You know, can get let me know.
I like the lining up with Bollinger Bands.
Let's have a look there
because it's kind of the same thing. But if you're with VWAP, when I used to trade, if you're too far away from it, I don't like trading until it comes back to it.
Yeah.
What are my edgeful stats? So all these different numbers, because we had a breakdown today, the IB by retracement is only going to show your stats for a breakdown. So we had an 80% chance that price retraced 10%, 60% chance price retraced 20%, 40% chance price retraced 50%. So those numbers go down because it's less likely that you have a continuation up that far in the IB and then back down. Again, today is not a day that I would go and use that for validation, simply because where's your draw after the IB retraces, or where's your draw to the upside? We don't have any.
James, is your VWAP anchored? Yes. So my VWAP is anchored to overnight. So what would that be? 6 p.m. Eastern time. So overnight VWAP, and then New York session open VWAP. So those are the 2 VWAPs I use. Correct. Yep.
Maybe I should rebrand from Mr. Zink. Bruce and Bryce. Take on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, Ali. For sure. Any other questions? It's always good to chat. What's actually happening on the edgeful screener?
It was pretty Christmas tree looking for me anyway.
Oh, wow. It's very red right now. Yeah.
I must have to fix what I have on here. I guess it's kind of fixed, but these ones all say bullish for the gap fill. I don't know why. Well, never mind. No, they're pretty split. Bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, 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 bullish, bearish. Word soup. This is all bearish. Opening candle continuation. All red. Yeah. And the IB is bearish for everything but Microsoft. I wouldn't partake in any of this right now. I think we're probably going to have more tweets throughout the day. The VIX is trading over 27 again. Yep. One more day until a payout. There you go, Pip-T. I'm just kind of kicking myself. I missed that trade. It was a perfect entry model in SPY. Right at 1025, but it's okay. Missed out on 150. Or 1,500 and over 10 accounts, however you view it.
They're starting the Players Championship this weekend, or today. Golf in Florida.
Nice.
That'll be nice to watch after stream. Not that I might have much time getting off at like 8 p.m., bro.
I've been watching baseball.
Nice. Yeah, that's when I come to the States, I want to go watch an NBA game. My favorite sport from the States is football, but obviously it would be out of season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rugby. It's close.
Yeah, well, there's not much rugby going on in the States, that's for sure. I think there's only like one. It's like the Vegas Sevens or something, but that's, yeah.
They had games every day that we were in Hawaii.
Oh, nice.
They had them right outside the hotel we were staying in. But that's also a completely different culture.
Yeah, Tony Finau's leading with Justin Thomas. There you go.
I vaguely follow F1. I don't look at Moto. But F1 I will I enjoy watching those races. It's a little bit different than NASCAR. A lot different than NASCAR. They actually race.
Yeah, I didn't realize the NASCAR tracks were actually at such a big angle, bro.
Yeah, they're at like 40, 45 degrees.
It's wild.
Otherwise, they'd fly off going 300 miles an hour.
True. Yeah, they'd fly off. Yeah.
I went to one when I went to Kentucky a long while ago, and it was the loudest noise I've probably ever heard in my life.
Really? Yes. Someone's asking here. Guys have to wear those headphones, bro, when they go. Someone's saying MotoGP or F1. I mainly follow F1, but one of my friends, my actually good friend's cousin, he actually races in MotoGP. Brad Binder. I don't know if you know him, but yeah,
I don't know.
Won a few races.
Absolutely love golf.
Think, what's your opinion on the Asian session NQRB stat on edgeful showing 65% chance of double break? Is that good for RB50 entry?
I actually don't look at the double break afterwards. So I just look for the single break. We've had a double break most nights. And I think the only reason I can verify why that would happen is because you have way too much price action following the stat. So if you're measuring it on the daily,
sure.
If I go over to, let me go to my reports here. If I go to the IB by rejection, I'm using MNQ, and I go to the daily time frame. This daily is 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. the following day. That's why the double break stat so high. So that means that price, for it to be a double break, we just need to get above 24,950. MGC, same thing too. It has almost 23 hours that it can break the high and then the low. So I wouldn't really care about the double break stat. It's still very valid for breaking the low or breaking the high, though. It's a very valid stat to go and play. What time? With the time changes, do you still remain 9:30 to 10:30? Yeah, I'm within the U.S., so we didn't have a change in the IB. If you're outside of the U.S., your IB is now 8:30 to 9:30. You change times in South Africa?
No, we don't do that dumb stuff.
I agree. It's pretty stupid. We were supposed to have gotten rid of that years ago, like 2-3 years ago. They put in votes and they were like, yeah, we're getting rid of it this year. And then it still happens. I hate it. All right, James, it is 11 o'clock now.
Yeah, I think right now I'm okay with being patient. We'll see what happens rest of the day, and then we'll be live tomorrow as well, Zink and I.
Tomorrow, Friday?
Oh, sorry, it's Andre and I. Jeez, I thought it was Wednesday. Yeah,
I thought it was Wednesday.
Friday, Andre and I'll be live. Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys.
Yeah, I'll do it for today. There's been some good trades yesterday and today. I think if you want to go rewatch the streams, yesterday I think was a really good stream to watch. I actually took the longs. I took a loss first, so showing you how to take a loss and then getting back in. And then Zink also just patient on his entry. I think yesterday was a good stream, bro. Today we missed the shorts, but yeah, we're on to the next trading day, right?
All right, that'll do it for today. We'll go ahead and end it off there. Again, I think that we're probably just going to chop at we might retrace up to 50% again. So be cautious of news, tweets like that. But that will do it for me today.
Yep.
Have a great rest of your day. You guys will be live with James and Andre tomorrow. I'll be live again next Tuesday. See ya.
You guys.